Alrighty, guys, thanks for joining me. Thank you so much. This is your host, ID Jester. I'm just switching out something on my other screen here, so give me just a second here. All right, well, welcome, one and all. What we're here for today is we're going to be talking about a brand new release from John Tour Software. That's right, brand new release. The 7-Year War has been released. So this is part of the Musket and Pike series of games. And I had just purchased it and thought I would kind of do an unboxing with you guys and show you what it comes with, and we can check out the looks and all the bells and whistles for the new 7-Year War release here. So if you go to the product page, so there is the 7-Year War. It gives some information about it. To be totally honest, I am more of a World War II guy, but I am interested in this title because it is going to be interesting to try out some of these battles. And there are a lot of different standalone scenarios and 3 different campaigns. Lots of good-looking things here. You can look at the map, which looks very, very nice. So we're going to take a look at that. Clinton Parks is in the chat. Hello, Mr. Clinton Parks, who interrupted Grand Funk Radio. Sorry, brother. Let's look at another screenshot here. All right. So, yeah, I just picked this up. And if you are if you're a Civil War buff, I also picked up the new Civil War Battles Antietam as well. So we're going to look at that in a different live stream, probably tomorrow, I would think. So we'll get to show you that. So if you're a Civil War buff, you can definitely check that out. But there's a lot of good things to talk about on that. But we're not here for that. We're here to actually show the 7-Year War. So obviously this is from, let's see here, about 1756-ish. Again, I am not a huge 7-Year War expert and by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not. I think just all the different. You got France, you got Australia, you got Russia, you got British. You have some of the German city-states, all kinds of different battles involving each of these different countries. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting to bring it on. There's 78 standalone scenarios, 26 specifically scripted for play against AI. There's 3 campaigns, 25 unique maps ranging from 4,100 hexes all the way up to 32,000 hexes. So plenty of that. So let's take a look at the game and take a look at it. All right, so we'll go through a couple of the scenarios, just kind of on the list here. I'll scroll through the list kind of slowly, so if you're familiar with any of them, you can check it out. There's the turn over here. It kind of tells you the turn of it. This is the Battle of Lobositz, the Battle of Reichenberg, 20 turns long. We have the Battle of Prague. We have the Battle of Cologne. We have the Battle of Hessenbeck. We have the Battle of Gross Jagerdorf. The Battle of Moise. The Battle of Rossbach after noon. There is the Battle of Breslay. The prelude to Lethen, the clash at Born. The Battle of Vathay, late start. The Battle of Crofeld. The Battle of Sommerhausen. The Battle of Zorndorf. The Battle of Letzenberg. Battle of Hochkreich. Battle of Hochkreich. Battle of Bergen. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing some of these names, but I apologize for that. The Battle of K. Pelegs. The Battle of Milden. The Battle of Kunzerdorf. Battle of Maxen. The Battle of Kornbeck. The Battle of Warburg. The Battle of Legetz. The Togra. The Sheep Ponds. The Battle of Friedberg. The Battle of Osenzeitz. The Battle of Osenzeitz late start. Battle of Reichenberg. The Battle of Prague early start. Battle of Prague early start Grenadiers. Battle of Prague late start. Prague the fall of the legends. The Battle of Cohen morning start. The Battle of Cohen late start. The second Battle of Prague hypothetical. Battle of Hassenbeck. Battle of Heisenbeck fixed French. Battle of Goserdorf. Battle of Gross Zogerdorf short. The Battle of Moise. Battle of Reisbach afternoon. Cavalry action. The infantry action. The Battle of Breslau. This is with fixed Australians. The prelude to Lethen, the Clash of Born. Battle of Lethen. Same thing with the late start. Battle of Crofeld with an alternate deployment. The Battle of Sandershausen. Poketray. Poketray says, I am happy you are trying this out. I am really considering getting this. Just released brand new 7-year war. So, yep, I am trying it out. I'm going through. We're going to show you everything with this game so you can make your decision, my friend. Sounds like a plan. Battle of Zollendorf. We're just going through the list of scenarios right now, showing how long they are. And, of course, you can put if you're watching this later on, you can put it on pause and you can read through the text if you want to. This is a Battle of Zollendorf, hypothetical northern approach. The Battle of Gross-Kamen. This is the Zollendorf hypothetical. Battle of Luttenberg. The Battle of Hochkirch. Same thing with Australian fixes. Battle of Bergen. Short. The Battle of K. Palaz. Battle of Milden with fixed units as well. Whew, there's a lot. Battle of Kosendorf. The Battle of Kulgund. The Battle of Maxen. The Battle of Maxen with Australian fixes. I keep calling them Australians, but they're Austrians. Please forgive me. Oh my gosh. Sometimes the text gets so small, and I just look at it really quickly. Of course, they're Austrians, not Australians. Duh. So, apologize for that. The Battle of Kornbeck. Same thing with the slower French reinforcements. Battle of Warburg. Battle of Witzig with the Prussian release. The Battle of Tugral with an early start with the Sheep Pawns. Pittsburgh with the fixed Prussians. So we're just going to grab a couple of these scenarios and load them up, and we're just going to leave everything on manual here so we can take a look at the maps. So right now I do have on the background sounds. I am going to turn off the background sounds just so it's a little easier for you guys to see. So you see here I'm going to zoom all the way out. All right, so here is zoomed out level. Very nice looking map. Very, very nice. So if we go actually under view, there are 3 different zoom levels in the Musket and Pike series. There is no 3D view, which is okay. You know, you don't necessarily need to have the 3D view. So we'll look at each of these. So that is our zoomed out view. We'll go to normal view. So that's a normal view. We'll just kind of scroll around the battlefield so you can take a look at it as well. There. Very pretty easy on the eyes, which I like. All right, very nice. And then we'll, of course, go into the magnified zoom, which I think, most players will play in this zoom level when they're doing their close in battles, and then they'll probably zoom out a little bit, maybe to the middle zoom to move units, move units up. But when the fighting comes, they'll probably go into zoom level here. All right, so that's very nice. We can, let's see, can we turn on map contours? So you can see the dark brown now, which normally in this zoomed out mode I don't like, but I do like it actually in the middle and the really close in zoom levels, because they're not as pronounced in those zoom levels as they are when you're zoomed way out like this. It looks a lot worse when you're out like this, but turn those on and off to your preference, so it's nice to have that. Now, can we actually turn on our locations? We can turn on show organizations, find leaders and units, jump dialog box. Of course, that's obviously ultra important if you're working on a bigger scenario. Did I know this is coming out today? No, it was a total surprise. I received an email and I'm like, oh, they just released something. Let me go check out what it is. And again, since you just joined this PokeTray, I'm not a big 7-Year War guy. I don't know much about it. I don't know the history leading up to it. I'm more of a World War I, World War II guy. But I picked this up because it sounds really good with all the different countries involved. I looked at the graphics, which look pretty decent. And the amount of scenarios you get, which we just went through, was awesome. And I don't have any of the Musket and Pike series, actually. So I'm not going to be able to actually give you any gameplay for this. I'm going to be spending, after we're done with this video, I'll probably be spending the rest of the night reading through the manual, because there are quite a few changes. But as we talked about in our tutorial series, if you played any of the other series, it should be pretty self-explanatory. When we click on a group of units, actually I want to change the view to, oh, I do have on divisional colors. Okay, that's one thing, I must have done that earlier. View divisional colors, you'll see the divisions colors on there, so that's good to have that. So what I do want is, I actually want this box on the bottom, which is probably under settings, hex view error, there we go. So now it's on the bottom. So as we talked about in the tutorial series, if you are familiar with any John Taylor game, they all have the same core component: number of men, the strength equivalent, their morale, or in this game is actually called quality, which is kind of interchangeable with all of the John Taylor games. It's either morale or quality, but they all had the same A, B, C, D, E, and F values, movement points, their fatigue level. Right-clicking on the unit shows the exact same information as it did in all the other games. So again, if you're familiar with any of the other series, I don't think it would be too hard to pick this game up and read through the rule book to find out the differences. And you can see here, nice unit cards. That's what these things are called, unit cards. Nice graphics there. Actually can read the text on the back of them, unlike Panzer battles and Panzer campaigns. Even though this is kind of more generic coloring, it actually works to its advantage because it's a little easier to actually read the text on the back. When you're got the Panzer campaigns and the Panzer battles, the unit cards have like an image underneath, and I had to go in and adjust the image to a darker quality so it's easier to read it when you right click on a unit and you can read the actual text on it on the back. So this has got, I believe, facing on it. I believe this shows the way your units are facing. So I'm going to have to, I'm unfamiliar with this era of warfare. So obviously I'm going to have to spend some time reading up on it a little bit here. But it does come with all the usual bells and whistles with the general help file. You got the parameter data, which we looked at in our tutorial series, and some of the numbers we should be looking at, which would be stacking parameters. Maximum stacking is 1,000 men. Artillery maximum 10 guns. Et cetera, et cetera. Some of that information is going to be ultra important inside this parameter data box. Of course, you have a campaign notes, and I actually read through this document, which is very helpful because it talks about the 7-Year War was previous to Napoleonic games, or the series of Napoleonic games, and it talks about the differences and what makes this era, 1756, different than early 19th century warfare. And one of the reasons is bayonets, and the second was the development of marching. And then he goes on to talk about what the differences in the infantry and what was used and what it wasn't used, and certain units getting certain kinds of bonuses and stuff. So it's a good read. It's not very long, but definitely, if you're new to this series, this is only the second game of this series, actually. There is, if we actually go back to the website here, if you go under Musket and Pikes, there's a 7-Year War, and then there is the Resistance. These are the only two of this series, and this one just came out today. So the only one before that was this one, the Resistance, and they both deal with obviously musket and pike era. This is going to be what, 1756. This one here is, I don't know without reading through it, but yeah. So it's only the second one of the series. So it's there are quite a few. I guess what I'm trying to get at is there are quite a few of the Napoleonic battles. You can see there's quite a few of those in the series already. So I'm sure there's a lot of players that are familiar with this system, playing these games. And because this is related to it, the designer of the game has gone in and actually talked about some of the differences and some of the similarities and what plays differently. So it's a very, very informative. Like I said, it's not very long, but I learned a lot. Like I said, I'm not an expert on the 7-Year War, but I learned a lot about, if I was going to play this type of game. You can see the same thing in morale units, A, B, C, D, E. Doesn't look like there's actually F in this one, but very similar to the other games we've been playing. It talks about the different Prussia, Austria, Russia, France, Great Britain, imperial units, which are southern German states, and then the northern German states. So lots of different information, and even gives you a great list of different references, books out there. If you're interested in this game and you find yourself interested in learning more, there's some list of books out there, and there's even a web page here you list somewhere. Oh, here it is. There's an outstanding website filled with a great deal of information on the entire 7-Year War. Let's see, can we highlight? That would be awesome if we could just highlight it. No, it's being a pain in the butt. Let's see. Let's see if we can just type it in. www.kronoskaf.com. Maybe I typed something wrong. www.kronoskaf.com/syw/index.php title equals main underscore page. Let's see if that takes us anywhere. Oh, there we go. Wow, there we are. Dun 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 dun. I might even let's just favorite this bad boy right now in case I want to come back to it later. So I'm sure all kinds of tons and tons of information, I'm sure, about the 7-Year War. If you're unfamiliar, in 1756, more than 250 years ago, the major powers of Europe became entangled in the conflict known as the 7-Year War, which lasted until 1763. It involved all the major powers in Europe, including Austria, France, Russia, Saxony, Sweden, Spain, Great Britain, Hanover, Prussia, and Portugal. Whew. So that's what, that's what I kind of read on the John Taylor website. I'm like, oh, well, if it's got all these different countries in it, let's check this game out. Let's find out. Yeah, this game was a total surprise that came out. So anyways, good information there on different books. The website we just looked at. And a guide to building order of battle files. If you want to create your own scenarios, it goes into extensive details. So if you wanted to create your own missions or your own scenarios or whatever you wanted, all kinds of details about that stuff. Let's see here. There. So that is our notes guide, which is super good. Super good. Of course, we got the user manual, which we're going to have to spend a little bit of time going over some of the rules, and hopefully we'll even have another video. So some of you just joining us, I do appreciate you spending some time. We're going over the brand new release for John Taylor, the 7-Year War Musket and Pike series. We're going to load up a couple more of the scenarios just to check out the unit counters, the maps, stuff like that, so you can get a full idea if this is something that might interest you or not. There are background sounds as well. While I'm thinking about it, I should mention for the second time, while I picked this up, I also picked up Civil War Battles Antietam. And we're going to do another video on this game, but I just thought I would mention that. So if you guys are Civil War buffs and you're interested, look at that. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to look at this game because these maps that they made for this game and the units look really, really good. Really good. But we'll talk about that in another episode. But I just wanted to mention that in case you're just joining us. I did pick that one up as well. The reason, of course, if we go back to the actual website here. Oh, I got to slide it over. So the most recent releases was obviously the 7-Year War, which just released, and previous to that was the Civil War battle updates to Antietam, Chancellorsville Peninsula, and St. Peter's, or St. Peter. I keep calling it St. Petersburg since I live right down the street. It's just called Petersburg, by the way. And so I was like, oh, I want to pick up one of these Civil War battles because I don't have any of those either. So I wanted to try that system as well for you guys out there. And I was like, which one of these do I want? Now they just released Petersburg. I think it's been about 3 months ago, maybe, or I think about that time-ish. So I was like, well, I don't know anything about that one. I know a little bit more about Antietam. So I decided to pick up that one. So we're going to look at that. And they're going back and they're updating all the Civil War battles with the new game engine and the new graphic enhancements, which we'll talk about when we look at that series of games. So let's open another scenario here and see if there's a 54. So this is probably a pretty big one here. It's got quite a few turns to it. If you're just joining us, let's look at our Musket and Pike. This is only the second game in the series. So there are 78 standalone scenarios, 26 specifically designed to play against the AI. There are 3 campaigns. There's a wide variety of small to large action and 25 unique maps ranging in size from 4,000 to 32,000 hexes. There you go. That's the information kind of about the 7-Year War there. So let's open this one up and see what this one looks like. Okay, let's scroll down. Nice big size maps there. Again, I have the contours, the map contours on. I don't like it when I'm zoomed out because it's too distracting, but I do like it when it's on if I'm zoomed in. So we can zoom in. Of course, we can click on the different counters. The unit cards look pretty good. This army is headed this way. We do have on the divisional coloring, so that should help. And of course, there is a maximum zoom level. Nice and close. And that's, I think, where the contours work the best because it's easier to see the contours here and it's not as distracting. And again, I'm not as familiar with this series as I am with the other ones, but looks like there's like a facing in this game. There's cavalry units, infantry units. There's individual leaders in this. So it looks like we have GL von Shelvin. GL von Shelvin. He's part of the cavalry of the Prussian army, etc., etc. So you have leaders in this game, which are going to obviously be a little bit different. They probably do the same thing, kind of similar as headquarters in like Panzer campaigns. But we're going to have to, I'm going to be spending a lot of time looking through the rule book here. And then we'll get to actually try. Leaders represent individuals that command the various forces. Leaders are used to improve the effectiveness of their force under their command and to support other commanders subordinate to them in general. The presence of commanders improves their morale and increases their fighting abilities. Pretty standard stuff there. Other supply wagons, skirmish units, artillery units, cavalry units, and infantry units. Squadron and patrol units. There are even ships in this game. Look at that. Ships. Unit formation. So obviously kind of similar-ish to like Napoleonic type battles where you have the different line formations. That article or that information that I was talking about earlier, this campaign one, actually goes into pretty good details about what was available, what was used, and what wasn't used during the 7-Year War. And one of the things that was not used with great regularity was the square formation. So you notice when we actually go into our our different unit formations, we won't see square formation, and he actually goes into details about the column formation. The column formation is more column movement as opposed to column attack formation. So we're going to have to find out about that. Unit values, very similar to the other games in the series. Range value, armor value, melee value. Well, now this will be a little bit different because we don't have melee in some of the other series, so we'll have to find out about that. Special units, light infantry units, guard units. Yeah, so obviously, I recommend reading the notes if you pick this game up. The Prussian and British units are giving a slight advantage in firepower. This is not a reflection of technology differences, but instead on the nature of the drill of those armies compared to the others. They put more focus on effectively firing their muskets. Firepower in this game can be fairly painful. There are well-trained armies, and a full volley from a fresh unit can hurt pretty bad. So anyways, movement, sure, formations. A disrupted or routed unit cannot change formations. A unit may not change into block formation. A unit may not change into block formation in restricted territory. Artillery units must be limbered in order to move. Pioneer units may never form a block. Non-horse artillery units cannot fire in the same turn that it unlimbers or changes facing. Yeah, so there's definitely facing in this. Stacking limits. Bridges, trenches, arbatis. All right. Yeah, I'll go through that later. That's fine. Right. So let's see. So we'll zoom out. Well, let's check out another scenario here and just see if we can find something. The Battle of Bergen. Let's take a look at the Battle of Bergen, shall we? Oh, that's interesting. Units scheduled. So there are some units scheduled for arrival. That's cool. All right. So it looks like this battle is going to be between. It's definitely a hill, and then a forest here, and then like a plains here. So that's pretty interesting. All right, let's take a look at maybe another scenario or two. Battle of Milden. Let's take a look at that. Again, I'm not familiar with any of these battles, so I love the little these little cards that pop up. I'm not sure what the turn card, I guess, is called. Australian Alliance. Austrian Alliance. I keep calling it Australian. Why do I do that? Shame on me. Austrian Alliance. There we go. We're going to zoom. Oh my gosh, I'm zoomed way out. That's his. Whee! This is going to be a monster map, isn't it? Holy cow. Come on, keep scrolling. So, this must be the town. Wish. I was looking to see if there's a way to turn on the locations. There we go. Oh, no. All right, so there's obviously the town of Milden here. And some of the other locations around it here is the Weser River. This looks like a pretty big scenario there, huh? Wow. Definitely a nice one there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can actually leave the victory removed, leader casualty, supply sources, objectives, strength. Visible command, full. Find leader, jump. Orders, highlights. So here's our different highlights. We can highlight fixed units, spotted units, low ammo units, fired or fought units, moved units, disordered, detached, high fatigue, extended line units, isolated units, non-full strength units, Supply wagons, organization, and command units. All right. Does have on. Does not actually have on the fast AI processing, which we're used to using, but this is a different system, so there might not be as much firing back and forth as some of the other games, so maybe it's not needed. We'll have to try a scenario out and see. Oh, turn off beep on error. I hate that. Blink. Let's turn on the complete toolbar. It didn't look like it changed anything. We can turn on or off the hex outlines depending on if that bothers you, but I enjoy the hex outlines. Introduction, map results, sound effects, optional rules. Here's your optional rules: manual defensive fire, victory points for leader casualties, rounding limitations. So I have to look at some of these. Weak zone of control is the only one that looks like it defaults on because I haven't checked anything. So it looks like these are going to be British units. More British. And it's just a French army down here. Oh ho ho. Got the French and the British going at it. Well, that's surprising. So interesting, you know, this unit has an arrow and then it's got a box behind it. This one's got like 4 dots and then a box behind it. So we're going to have to figure out, is this, I bet you this might be artillery. Is this artillery? Is that what that is? Infantry musket. No, it's got a musket. Range of 2. What's this one? Oh, that's cavalry with a sword. Charge! Cavalry with a sword versus infantry with an improved musket. I bet you the dots must represent what kind of formation you're in. Yeah, line formation. Maybe that's what the dots represent. I'll have to, again, not as super expert on this. So we'll have to look at this. Oh, we got the, is this the French? Or, what is this? It says the French army, but this flag doesn't look French to me. Unless that's our old flag or something. That's a possibility. What's this here? This must be a leader. And of course, since it's a French leader, you're never going to be able to pronounce his name. Marechal de Condestis. Sure. Yeah, it was a pretty nice surprise to see this game released today and checking it out. The Battle of Hastenbeck. The Battle of Hastenbeck. Oops. All right, the Austrian Alliance. That's a pretty nice big maps. You're not jammed in any small locations, which is nice. And again, the details, you know, it's not like super high res for ultra 4K high definition 3D, but it's pleasant and easy enough on the eye to be able to see it and be able to function with it, which is what's important when you're playing a war game. Command. So turn, about face, change column, change skirmish, change block, change extended line, change charging, toggle bridge repairs, artillery dialog box. Okay, here's an artillery unit. Might be actually a way to view. I was looking to see if there's a way to change the graphics, but it looks like or the unit counter. I don't see any way, but I'm sure we just have to figure out what all these little dots and things mean. This looks like dot means artillery, right? And that's infantry. The X, right? And this must be cavalry. Yeah, mounted De Roy Brigade. Yeah, cavalry with swords. That must be the single slash. There's a big hill over here. All right, well, I will be bringing you guys some of the 7-Year War. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that as much as you've enjoyed some of the other things here. The Battle of Breslau, Austrian Alliance. Holy cow, that is really nice. I mean, every one of these different battles we've come across so far has got their own individual map. I mean, just to create a map of this big, oh my gosh, look how big this is. I mean, that's a lot of work, fellas. Look at that. That's a lot of work. So whoever's put all their time and effort in this, whew, well done. Just creating the maps, and you got to create the scenarios on the maps, and put all the formations out there, and you got how many did we end up getting out of here? 78 standalone scenarios, 3 different campaigns, 26 specifically designed to play against the AI, and 25 unique maps. Figure each map is like what, 8-10 hours of work at least, I would think. Multiply that by 25, you got yourself like 400 hours worth of work just creating maps. So when people complain about the price of the game, it's like, yeah, they don't understand how much work and effort went into creating these things. I understand. I appreciate it. I'll appreciate it more when I actually know what I'm doing. That would be even better. Dragoons. Range of 2, victory of 10. Alright, well, I just wanted to kind of give you an unboxing. Let you check out some of the different scenarios, see what the scenarios came like, show you what the graphics look like, you know, what, if you're not familiar with this series, which I'm assuming a lot of people aren't because it's only the second game in the series, what you can expect from it. I'm just looking to see if there's anything we haven't covered. Of course, you can adjust your hex info area box to left, right, wherever you like it. I like it on the bottom. There's actually a manual mode. There's a command control mode. There's an automatic. This is new. I don't remember seeing that in any of the other series. Command and control. And of course, you can always play the Musket and Pike's battles. Yeah, this is kind of just setting up the game and stuff. Okay, well, CBB Blackard. Hey, my friend, thanks for stopping out. He says, I doubt I'll make it through the whole weekend without buying this. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at it and I'm like, do I kind of get this? I don't know much about this game, but man, it seems so good. And I looked at it and I looked at it and then I was like, oh, I just gotta get it. Just stop worrying about it. Just freaking get it. So I did. And I hope, like I said, I just wanted to kind of show it. I am not familiar with this series. This is my first game of the series. So I wanted to see what it was like, and I want to experience it. But obviously, I'm going to have to spend some time just reading over some of the things that are going to make this game. I doubt my World War II strategy is going to work very good in this game. I'm just saying, it probably is not going to work very good. 6 guns, 12 pounders, range of 15. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's see, can we shoot this guy? Let's shoot him. Oh, maximum visibility is 4 hexes because there's a moderate fog out there. Obviously, we have the fog of war turned off, people. So don't. I just wanted it so we can see both sides. We can obviously we'll just do like something like that. So now we don't know where the enemy units are, right? Looks. Here's the different locations. Wish there was a way to keep the locations on. Some of this game series, you can actually turn them on and leave them on. They're called map settings or map locations or something. And then some of the other series, you only have like this overlay that you can pop up. But as soon as you click off of it, like say let's go there, and then they all disappear. So you can't leave that up. Unfortunately, some of the series you can, some you can't. That's why I was looking around to see if there was like a map overlay or map locations or something, but I don't see that anywhere. I see the locations, but unfortunately, alternate labels. Wonder what that does. All right, we're gonna get into it sometime. I'll try holding Shift and clicking Settings at the same time. That should hold them. Really? So Shift, Settings. What? What? Pokey Tray? What? Pokey Tray also says, same as CBB Blackguard. He keeps taunting me to buy it. I didn't know if you hit the Shift key, it'll actually leave these on there. Then you hit the settings, huh? Look at that, it does. Holy cow. Pokey Tray, you're alright, man. You're alright. I did not know that. I've never come across that in any of the manuals or anything. Like, and if I... Interesting, you can hold the Shift key down at any time, it'll pop them up there as well. And then they'll actually just stay there if you hit the settings button. Wow. That is something good to know. All right, guys, one final time, just so you're aware. So that is, again, 7-Year War just released at johntillersoftware.com. Find out all the information, but we just pretty much covered everything. Second thing is tomorrow night we're probably going to be doing the same thing, but we're going to be talking about Civil War battles, Antietam, which I just picked up as well, and oh my god, we thought the other maps were good. These hand-drawn maps, oops, I'm just going to click on this one, that's fine. So that's, I hope you saw it there. That was the original map that comes with the default game, but they've been updating them with their new hand-drawn maps. Oh my god, this looks... If you're a Civil War guy, you're going to be spending a lot of money. I have a feeling. I'm just saying. You're probably going to have to just write a check, send it over to John Tiller Software right away, because when you see the new graphics, oh my gosh, look at that. We're zooming in now. We are zooming in. Oh, I mean, I'm not even a big Civil War guy, but I was like, I gotta see what this series is like with the new graphics. Holy cow, they're nice. So we're gonna be doing a release of Antietam. Now this one's been out for a while, but they just updated it with the brand new 3D engine, with the new maps, the new counters, everything. And of course, there's multiple zoom levels. There's 2D view. And let's see if I can... Oh, I can get rid of these. And look at that. I learned something new with my little labels. So there's 2D view in this, as well as 3D. But we'll look at that in the next episode, next time we get together. Today was all about the 7-Year War, my friends. It looks incredible. One more time, we're just going to go through just quickly. I'm going to scroll through the list. Those of you interested in looking at the scenarios one more time, there are a boatload of them, different sizes and length. There's 3 campaigns as well. In fact, let me load up that real quick, because I think that might be something pretty cool for you. Let's see here, 7-Year War. All right, 7-Year War campaign front end. So play a new game. So we have the fall 1757 campaign, the Battle of Colon campaign, and the Trogrua campaign. We can either be the Austrian Alliance or the Prussian Alliance. We can have the AI be conservative, reckless. Interesting. Starting situation. We can choose one of the different starting situations. Wow, that's pretty involved. I haven't done any of the campaign. The fall of 1757 campaign is the most notable of Frederick's career and was highlighted by the twin victories at Rossbeck and the Thin. The campaign started out with the Prussians in a very difficult situation. The Austrian victory at Kolin led to Frederick being forced to abandon his invasion of Bohemia and stand on the defensive in Valencia. Vorst, and French and Russians were also sending armies to conquer Frederick's kingdom. Sure. Continue. Decision. Attack the center. Sure. All right. Okay. Well, that would be the start of our campaign right there. Boom. We're off and running. It's pretty cool. CB Blackard says, read today that the Napoleonic titles are being updated with the new graphics also. Wow. That is going to be very, very good, because the Napoleonic ones are pretty out of date. if you compare that with what we got going on now. Here's the 2D view of this, of the, what was this one? This was the campaign 1814 Napoleonic. Quite a big difference between that and the new update. So looking forward to that as well. Oh my God, that's pretty good. So yeah, love the new graphic engine. They should have been using that 10 years ago, to be honest, but you know, it's good to know that. Appreciate the info, CB Blackard, Pokey Trey, and everyone else that stopped out tonight. Do appreciate it. Just wanted to give you a quick intro, kind of go over the game. All the if you have any questions or whatever, let me know before we end the live stream. But just kind of showing you the graphics, showing you the different maps, talking about the different scenarios, see what options. Because I am not familiar with this rule set at all. Whoa. Nice big maps. I do like that. All right, now I just need to read through the rules and figure out what all the different symbols mean on the counters, and then practice a scenario two, and then I'll be able to give you guys some 7-year war action. So appreciate you guys stopping out tonight, spending a little bit of time with me. And we'll see you guys next time when we talk about Civil War battles, specifically the Antietam set, which is going to have all kinds of... See, that's... There. See, it takes a little while for the actual new maps to come in. You can see the big difference. Oh my God, what a big difference that makes. Oh my God, this is so much better. So much more pleasant on the eye. And you can actually see and make good sound decisions. I can see, oh, this is a river surrounding this hex. Oh, here's a town. Here's some buildings. It's a forest. There's Bull Run. Look at that. All right, guys, take it easy. Hope to see you guys soon. Oh, Centerville. Nice. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.